the river's going to dictate what we do. You know, how the tow's handling. You know, we'll get a feel for it. There's a lot of feel. There's a lot of feel to it. It's not an exact science, obviously, but to me, it's an art. It's an art. I mean, how you make a bridge, I try to make a bridge perfect, a perfect flank, a perfect turn, and to do that, I mean, there's certain ways you do it to make it pretty. I mean, I like to make it pretty, coming right down through the green lights, right down the middle, setting up. And some of them you have to set up different to come down the green lights. On a bend, when you flank a bend, and you'll see a lot of that going down. When we flank bends is basically where we stop and get the boat, not stop, but we get down to the current speed. What the current's taking us. The swifter water is towards the bend. The shallow, I mean the slacker water is out towards the, out in the channel. So what we do is we get the stern stays out towards the channel, the head gets in the swifter water towards the, and it's like a piece of drift going down the river. The river will carry us around through the turn. Instead of driving it where we're outrunning the current like we'll be doing going down the river, we're going faster than the current, obviously. But on a flank, what they say, it's a real tight turn to where it'd be about like a race car sliding around a turn and hitting the bank or hitting the wall. That's what would happen if you try to steer some of these tight turns. There's just not enough room to do it. It's like when we come in south, what we're doing is basically it's like driving on ice. You know, you slide around stuff, and you'll see that. You'll really see that. But a flank, what you're doing is you're not sliding around the turn, you're letting the river take you around the turn. The swifter water's in the bend, you get the current speed, that head's going to come on around, and it'll steer you around the turn, and then you drive on out. That's what's called a flank.
A flank.
You will see that. So this is the southbound. Northbound is tedious work. I mean, because you're trying to find the better water. You're slow moving. We got to get out of the way from traffic. You got to duck and dive from them. Southbound, you got right of way. Everybody's got to get out of your way. So you're telling them where to get. You need to be out of my way here. You need to be out of my way there. And we just go. You know, we're going. Everybody's got to get out of our way south. So it's you know, you get people out of your way. You're not having to duck and dodge them. They're having to duck and dodge you, basically, or get to where they're going to be out of your way. And it's faster, obviously. That light, that damn light. Eddie won't tolerate that.
The fleeting area is complete, the slowest safe speed, and with as wide a berth as is safe. The captain's report with concurrence of Lower Mississippi River Committee recommends the following limits for tows transiting Lower Mississippi River from mile marker 303 to mile marker 869.
Alright, just know it's not as far
Eastbound tows,
you didn't know it about it. You had a tag, you'd already stopped.
No, I hadn't heard anybody back here toll.
It gets nutty. Down below Baton Rouge, we'll have 3 radios
Okay,
going.
appreciate that. Y'all have a good momentum.
And you've got to listen to all 3 of them.
What's going on now?
That was
Transmitting.
that's the coast.
all barges currently in the system with draft greater than 9 feet shall be placed.
That's I know probably the 7th, 8th boat.
The red buoys at
Nah, maybe not
control
that
at
many.
mile
5,
marker
6.
832, Lower Mississippi River reset. Mariners are advised to steer towards the green blue line between the area. Northbound and southbound traffic are also advised not to meet or pass within the vicinity of mile marker 832, Lower Mississippi River.
Well, I'm enjoying the feed, just barely making it
Until
up
further
to the
notice,
end of
the
the
dredge trailer is
hour.
conducting dredging operations at mile marker 78.
What is she saying?
She's giving out broadcasts of river conditions and stuff down the river.
So is it shut down?
To 400 feet from mile marker 771 to mile marker 771.
Down there where the bad spot. It is, but they've got a dredge in there now, so there's a boat running around in there.
Received a report that the Cedar Point lower light.
Yeah, I'm done with her. It's shut down there. Where we ran aground coming up, and the bad spot I've been talking about down below Greenville, there's another one aground down there. But there was, Adair, they were running aground there at a steady rate of, they were averaging at least 1 for every 24 hours. They were more than that. One for about every 18 hours was running aground there over a 3 to 4 day, 4 day stretch. And there's another one down there now.
So that part of the river shut down for now?
That's the part that was on the news, the Greenville, all the 100-mile backup and all that. Yeah, it's the same spot. It's not shocking. I mean, we know that. But at the stage of river it is right now, we can get 20 barges down through there. Once they clear the boat and get them out of the way, we can get down through there. Unless they shut it down. I mean, when they shut. That's why all the boats. There was 100. We came up Adair from Lake Providence to above Rosedale. It was about a 120-mile stretch of river, and it looked like Christmas coming up through there at night. There was boats all up both sides of anywhere that they could stop. I mean, you're talking about 100 and it was I'd look at the mile markers. I figured about a 120-mile stretch, and you had over 100 boats. So you're you're getting to, well, to do the math, 1.25 miles, whatever the math is on it, there was a boat. So they were basically up down the shore, which they weren't all big full tows. They were small, little, it was every size of vessel that transits the Mississippi River. And they were everywhere and impatient. And, and then they were taking them, it was a stretch of river that they had to run one-way traffic, so they had to run southbounders for a certain amount of time and then run northbounders to clear the area. And they were, and it was the northbounders, it was slow, southbounders, it was hairy. I mean, it's an 11-mile stretch of river. That's what they've been reporting on the news and all that, the big, the snarl or whatever. Well, we were at ground zero of the snarl for about 2 days. So we know that's the thing about it. If anybody knows the snarl, it's somebody that's run aground there, because you know where the good water is. And we sat there and watched it. We had the advantage of watching, the guinea pigs come down through there north and south. They ran some little light tows. We were the first one to run up through there and stick it in the ground when it first stuck. We started the whole deal, but we didn't actually start the delay. There was delay from a spot, the 11 miles upriver, that while we were waiting for a while to get our shot up through there. When we got our shot, I went up and run aground, and we ended up busting up tow when we were trying to get it off ground. We were very, 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 very fortunate. 14 wires is like rolling your car down a cliff and just getting a sticker in the tire. I mean, it's just that's the only way I can. I mean, we really had a catastrophe, and we came out smelling like a rose. I mean, I don't know how to put that. We came out better for it because at the end of it, we understood how to get through there, It gave us the confidence to go south. I'm not freaked about that area because I know exactly how much the river's fallen and how much water we have to get through that spot. And there's a dredge in there now, so.
So we make it to New Orleans after all.
Yeah, the river shutting down Adair does not mean that it's going to be closed for the duration. I mean, but there's a possibility. We don't know. I mean, that's the good thing is the reason I'm not worried about it being shut down there. It's going to be, the thing about it is traffic's going to be backed up when you get there. You're going to get to see the backed up traffic and stuff and all that. But it's going to keep moving because they've got a dredge in there clearing that spot out, making it better.
Okay.
So we'll be all right. But it's really treacherous. It's not surprising to me that boats are going to continue to run aground in that spot because there's a lot of boats in there. There's a lot of inexperienced wheelmen, and not just inexperienced wheelmen. Adair, I don't consider myself inexperienced. I have a lot of experience. I know what I'm doing. I feel confident in my ability, and I went in there and it got me because I didn't know exactly how to run it, where the good water was. It was tricky. Your sounder's telling you one thing, but you need to be reacting another, and by the time you see when you need to be reacting, it's too late. We didn't have a buoy marking the spot. You're not gonna have trouble getting me talking, girl. You figured that out, right? And Eddie either. You're gonna get different stories from him. You'll get